as the grand scheme to conquer the cosmic expanse encircling Earth, the Moon, and even extending its reach to Mars becomes fiercer. World-leading countries, the United States, China, Russia, are likely in a race to conquer territories and make claims to cosmic bodies. Is that even possible? Are we foreseeing a territorial battle for the lunar real estate? Could the Moon become a communist entity, casting dark shadows on their enemies? Only one way to find out. This is Tech Evolution Center. Please hit that subscribe button and keep that bell ringing so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. This 21st century lunar pursuit, which is well underway, heralding a contest of unprecedented intensity among global superpowers. This rivalry echoes the historic space race of the 20th century, which saw the United States and the Soviet Union lock horns. While the USSR initially ventured beyond Earth's atmosphere, the Americans swiftly countered with a resounding triumph: complete lunar dominance. It was an unequivocal victory, unmatched to this day. Now, amidst the tumultuous 2020s, a fresh one-on-one space race emerges, pitting the US against China. Despite China's belated entry, they've rapidly closed the gap with an unparalleled surge in aerospace advancements, positioning themselves as frontrunners.
Make no mistake,
the Chinese have seized the lead. Red banners of victory wave high. Yet this contest is not a sprint, it's a marathon. The ebb and flow of fortune remain unpredictable, offering a tantalizing prospect for a lot of speculations. What if NASA's ambitious plans for Artemis fail to materialize? Thus far, the results have been underwhelming. Conversely, what if China's lunar ambitions proceed smoothly, adhering to their impressive track record of success? The prospect of China claiming lunar dominance sparks significant apprehension, transcending mere online sensationalism to become a pressing concern at the highest echelons of the U.S. government. In a pivotal July interview, NASA Administrator Bill Nelson voiced grave apprehensions, cautioning against China's potential assertion of lunar sovereignty, simply put, claiming the moon for themselves. His sentiments echo the same sentiments expressed by former Vice President Mike Pence in 2019, who unequivocally stated that the U.S. finds itself embroiled in a contemporary space race, with stakes surpassing those of the 1960s. A glaring disparity distinguishes the space race of the 1960s from its modern counterpart. The United States now finds itself playing catch-up. While China hasn't yet dispatched human explorers to the moon, their robotic missions already boast a significant presence. Notably, the Yutu-2 rover, launched in 2018, traverses the enigmatic far side of the moon, an area perpetually obscured from Earth's view due to tidal locking. Consequently, Western nations remain bereft of direct observation capabilities, leaving China's lunar claims largely unchecked and their discoveries shrouded in mystery. The recent image capturing what appeared to be a conspicuous cube on the lunar surface exemplifies this ambiguity. Was it merely a rock, or perhaps something more? The absence of independent verification underscores the imperative for Western nations to establish a foothold in lunar exploration as soon as possible. One might assume that we'd have satellites stationed around the moon conducting scientific research, but surprisingly, we don't. Compounding this absence capstone, the satellite dispatched towards the moon in the summer of 2022 grapples with significant communication and control issues, casting doubt on its effectiveness. In contrast, China boasts a spacecraft currently orbiting the moon. The service module from the Chang'e 5 mission has settled into a distant retrograde orbit, a stable trajectory, completing a circuit around the moon every 2 weeks. This orbit ensures the spacecraft's longevity, allowing it to persist for decades. Speaking of the Chang'e 5 mission, it marked a historic milestone for China, their first successful sample return mission. Their rover meticulously collected lunar regolith and rock samples, which were subsequently ferried back to Earth by the orbiter spacecraft. Remarkably, this event marked the first instance of lunar sample return since 1976, not by the United States, but by the Soviet Luna 24 lander. While the USSR never sent humans to the moon, their robotic missions in the 1970s often fly under the radar. Despite yielding comparatively modest samples, Luna 24's return amounted to just 170 grams. they managed to excavate approximately 2 meters into the lunar surface. Notably, a 1978 report from the USSR Academy of Sciences claimed evidence of water in Luna 24 samples. Although the quantity of lunar material retrieved by the United States vastly eclipses that of other nations, totaling 842 pounds, the focus remains on China's unprecedented lunar activities. Presently, China spearheads lunar exploration by actively collecting and analyzing fresh samples. Their recent announcement regarding the discovery of a new mineral in lunar regolith, dubbed Chang'e site, underscores their pioneering efforts. While this mineral may not boast exceptional properties, its discovery stands as a noteworthy achievement. However, it's essential to acknowledge that the information China is willing to share is just a teeny-tiny fraction compared to their actual endeavors. Conceivably, they've unearthed myriad discoveries on the moon, remaining undisclosed to the wider world. In essence, our understanding of lunar exploration remains veiled by the selective disclosures by these new kids in the block, finding ease in spacefaring missions. During a recent international space conference on September 18th, NASA Administrator Nelson underscored a crucial point. Cooperation with China hinges upon China's willingness to engage openly. Regrettably, such openness has yet to materialize. Notably, representatives from the Chinese space program were conspicuously absent from the conference, leaving Nelson's remarks unanswered. In fairness, this impasse isn't unilateral. The United States contends with the Wolf Amendment, enacted by Congress in 2011. This legislation bars the U.S. government from collaborating with Chinese state entities, including the Chinese space program. Consequently, Chinese astronauts have long been excluded from the International Space Station, as such cooperation would contravene U.S. law. Given these constraints, it's understandable why China pursues an independent path in space, establishing its own space station and spearheading lunar exploration initiatives. Turning our attention back to NASA, the competition is indeed intensifying. Artemis 1, despite its gradual progress, represents a significant milestone. This mission will see an American and European-made spacecraft orbiting the moon for several days before returning. Artemis 1 primarily serves as a technical showcase rather than a dedicated scientific mission. NASA aims to demonstrate the capabilities of its SLS rocket, asserting its prowess in deep space missions and signaling its ability to conduct complex maneuvers, such as returning sizable payloads from lunar orbits. Following Artemis 1's success, NASA plans to replicate the mission with Artemis 2, this time with crewed missions, a significant leap forward. Although Artemis 2 offers a fleeting opportunity for close-up lunar observations, it remains a flyby mission, lacking the extended presence necessary for in-depth scientific study. It isn't until Artemis 3 that NASA truly leaps ahead in 21st-century lunar exploration. This mission holds the promise of human astronauts conducting scientific endeavors on the moon's surface, a capability far surpassing that of robotic missions. However, Artemis 3's timeline remains uncertain, with projected launch dates ranging from 2025 to 2028, underscoring the challenges and uncertainties inherent in space exploration. Compounding these challenges is the issue of lunar real estate. NASA has earmarked the lunar South Pole, an unexplored region, for its crewed landing, marking a departure from the equatorial landing sites of the Apollo missions. However, China also harbors ambitious plans for the lunar South Pole, notably with Chang'e 7, a large-scale robotic exploration mission. As such, competition for prime lunar real estate intensifies, underscoring the strategic significance of the South Pole in both scientific and geopolitical contexts. The forthcoming Chang'e 7 mission promises a multifaceted lunar exploration endeavor encompassing an orbiter, a relay satellite, a lander, and a miniature probe engineered to probe lunar craters for traces of water ice, an invaluable resource potentially harbored in their shadowy depths. Notably, this mission is in cooperation with the UAE government, featuring a new rover, the Rashid II, marking a strong collaboration between two influential and affluent governments. China's involvement in the mission extends beyond mere participation. They will provide crucial support in landing, data transmission, observation, and control of the rover. This partnership underscores the convergence of powerful entities in a shared lunar endeavor. However, the geopolitical landscape surrounding this collaboration is shrouded in ambiguity. While neither China nor the UAE are adversaries of the West, their relationship falls into a murky gray area. Furthermore, China's intention to establish a permanent moon base at the South Pole, in collaboration with Russia, introduces another layer of complexity. Russia's increasingly antagonistic stance towards the West adds a concerning dimension to this partnership. The Chang'e 7 mission, scheduled for a 2026 launch, positions China to seize a decisive advantage in lunar exploration, particularly at the South Pole, the focal point of their ambitions. By the time Artemis 3's crewed landing materializes, China, alongside their Arab and Russian partners, may have established a robotic outpost at the South Pole, complicating the political dynamics of lunar exploration. While China's head start in lunar surface operations is indisputable, the United States possesses two formidable advantages: the Space Launch System, SLS, and the Elon Musk's SpaceX Starship. These vehicles represent a quantum leap in lunar transportation capabilities, enabling crewed missions and delivering substantial cargo to the lunar surface. In contrast, China's lunar missions have largely revolved around smaller robotic vehicles and satellites, paling in comparison to the scale and capability of the SLS and Starship. Thus, while China may lead in ground operations, the United States maintains a significant edge in crewed lunar missions and payload delivery, an advantage that could tilt the balance in the evolving lunar arena. In addition to its role as a human lander and habitat module, China's development of the Long March 9, a super heavy-lift rocket, represents a significant leap in lunar exploration capabilities. No other space agency has publicly announced plans for a comparable vehicle. Although the Long March 9's launch is slated for 2030, its development proves China's focus on expanding its space capabilities. However, the United States maintains a competitive edge with the Space Launch System, SLS, and the Starship. While neither has yet achieved orbital flight, both are on the cusp of operational readiness. The SLS is poised for imminent launch, while Starship's first orbital flight attempt is anticipated in the coming weeks or months. In contrast, China's Long March 9 is still undergoing engine testing. China's advancements in engine technology are noteworthy. Recent successful hot-fire tests of hydrogen-fueled upper stage engines demonstrate their progress. Moreover, proposed enhancements, such as adding a fifth-side booster for crewed moon missions, highlight China's ambitious lunar aspirations. Ultimately, heavy-lift rockets like the SLS and Starship will shape the future of lunar exploration. As Elon Musk often emphasizes, mass to orbit is irreplaceable, a principle embodied by these vehicles. With the potential to carry unprecedented payloads to the moon, the United States, led by innovative companies like SpaceX, holds a formidable advantage. While China may lead in the short term, the long-term strategic advantage lies with heavy-lift rockets. Elon Musk's vision of building a city on Mars underscores the transformative potential of these vehicles. The first HLS Starship mission could surpass all previous lunar landings combined, a feat difficult for China to match. In conclusion, as long as SpaceX and Elon Musk deliver on their promises, the United States and Western space programs will likely maintain supremacy in lunar exploration. However, sustained commitment and investment are crucial for securing this advantage in the 21st century space race. Had China had the upper hand, will they restrict other nations from landing on the moon? Share your thoughts in the comments section. See you on the next one.